This morning, new details in the increasingly desperate search for Nancy Guthrie.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you.
Late last night, Savannah posting this video of her brother Cameron talking directly to the person or people who potentially took their 84-year-old mother.
We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom.
The video was posted just minutes after the first of two deadlines on a reported ransom note sent to 3 news outlets, according to the FBI.
The ransom note that was distributed to the media did make a demand for 5 p.m. today. And if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday.
The special agent in charge says the FBI is still investigating the legitimacy of the ransom note, which he says referenced in Apple Watch and floodlights information that was publicly available. But the note did not include any contact information.
In a normal kidnapping case, there would be contact by now.
Authorities also arresting a man they say sent a hoax ransom demand to Savannah's sister Annie and brother-in-law.
To those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation, we will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions.
Now entering the 6th day of the search, authorities still have no suspect or person of interest in the case. But they did release a more detailed timeline of the night Nancy disappeared. They say at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnected. At 2:12, software detected movement on a camera. And at 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected. Authorities also confirming blood found on the porch was Nancy's. The sheriff tells us investigators do not have the doorbell security camera from Nancy Guthrie's house and have not been able to access any surveillance footage from the home.
What gives you hope that Nancy is still out there?
Wow. You have to have hope. You have to have hope. You can't. Come on, this is somebody's mom. We're going to find her.
And guys, as for those reported ransom notes, the FBI says if they do turn out to be legitimate, those demands, and they are able to make that contact, that the FBI is prepared. They say they have crisis negotiators here in Tucson ready to assist the family. Meanwhile, the FBI is also ramping up their search efforts, and they are now offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest, or more importantly, to Nancy. Craig.
Liz Courts Force there in Arizona. Again, Liz, thank you. NBC's Tom Winter covers crime and security force. Tom, good morning. So now we have 2 videos from the family, both addressing the abductors. Where do things stand now with regard to the investigation? Where do things go from here?
Sure. So, you know, we all heard that press conference yesterday. There were some key pieces of evidence that they hoped that they would be able to have. They would give them some of the critical clues to try to figure out who's responsible for all this. And those things didn't pan out. So right now you do have these ransom notes. It's the best thing that's in front of the family, the best thing that's in front of law enforcement as far as a possible avenue. And look, even if these ransom notes turn out to be a hoax, you've still got Savannah Guthrie communicating directly to whoever did this, saying, hey, the door is wide open. Contact us. We're here. We're ready to listen. That's what she's been saying. You've got her brother coming out, having a statement last night. We haven't heard from you, but we're here. We're ready to go. So even if the person who is actually holding Nancy or was responsible for this crime is not connected to these letters, you're still giving that person a path to say, look, let's talk.
Well, if that ransom note is legitimate, I mean, everybody's buzzing about this. It revealed, let's see, it includes 2 deadlines, right, no way of communicating, and it also mentions that Apple Watch and that floodlight. What are we supposed to make of this?
What we're supposed to make of it, according to law enforcement, is, look, we're taking it seriously. That's what they're saying this morning. And they haven't been able to tie it definitively back. They don't have a kidnapper. They don't know for sure that these notes are there. But we did have a 5 p.m. deadline yesterday. And so the hope is, and perhaps that's already happened just here in the last couple of moments, the last couple of hours, is that whoever sent this reaches back out. If it's legitimate, they'll reach back out. The family has said, look, show us proof of life, and we'll talk. We will have a serious discussion about this. And so you're hoping with these deadlines coming up that there is an additional attempt to follow up. The other piece of this is the Apple Watch and the floodlights. Of course, there's floodlights at Nancy Guthrie's home. There's an Apple Watch photo. We have it. There's a great photo of it here in a loving embrace between Savannah and her mom.
In the studio.
Right here, just 4 or 5 feet to my right.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, you say, okay, does this person have any additional information? In this follow-up, can they offer something that says definitively, oh, they really know something about Nancy that the public doesn't know.
Tom, one of the things that stood out to me yesterday most was this timeline, a more specific timeline. In fact, I want to put it up for folks at home, and let's drill down some of these times and what, if anything, we can glean from them. What stands out to you, and how could this inform the investigation moving forward?
A timeline, you talk to any investigator, you talk to anybody that's trying to solve a crime, is one of the most critical pieces that you have to establish, and there's some really interesting information on this. The first one being, you know, when these security cameras, the first security camera is taken off the door there. That is a critical moment because that indicates that's when the crime starts.
At 1:47.
At 1:47. 1:47, the doorbell camera disconnects. That's a critical moment. 2:12, software detects a person on a camera. Now, you might be sitting there saying, well, wait a minute, you just told me that they took the doorbell camera off the door. According to the sheriff, there are multiple cameras that were at the home. They may not have been in a position to record, or they may not have been saving that moment, but at least there is a software that says that there's some motion out there. We all have these apps, or we've seen them, that tells us somebody's outside. So that's at 2:12. And then at 2:38, the pacemaker app disconnects from the phone. So for sure, Nancy Guthrie is separated from her phone at a moment before 2:38 because obviously it goes out of range. So it's still connected for a little bit. But we know that the phone, which was found in the house, according to the sheriff, that Nancy Guthrie is away from the home and away from that phone sometime before 2:38. And of course, you got this question, well, 40 minutes. Yeah. What's with that 20-minute time gap? The cameras gets ripped off the doorbell, but then there's motion seen on the camera outside, you know, 20 minutes later. What's that about? Some people in law enforcement wonder if the person took the doorbell camera off and waited to see if police arrived. Would that alert anything? Would that do anything? And then perhaps thinking the coast was clear, goes back to the house. We don't know. We don't know the specifics of what camera detected the motion either.
Sure.
That's a bit of a challenge. So, again, it speaks to the fact that we have some information. There are some clues for sure, but we don't have a lot of details. It's that critical moment, though. We know now, 2:28, that's when the person is out of there. That does give them an opportunity now for the team that's trying to hunt down these cell phones. That takes a lot of time. It's a little bit of art and science. Okay, somebody's on the move here. For the people we were talking about it yesterday with the license plate readers, with the vehicles, okay, what is the time period here when we can start to look at these cameras? How many cars are on the road at, you know, at 2:30 in the morning? And so maybe we can start to put that together. But I will tell you all and warn everybody on this, that type of work takes a long time. That is just a lot of manual labor. And the farther you go out from Nancy Guthrie's home from a cell phone standpoint, every half mile, you pretty much times 10 the amount of cell phones you got to look at.
Got it.
It's a challenge.
All right, Tom, thank you. Thank you. We're going to have the latest updates, of course, throughout the morning. And again, anyone with any information is urged to call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.